Detail number one to sort out, this drive shaft. Doing the shackle reversal requires the drive shaft to move slightly different because the pivot changes from the back of the spring to the front of the spring. And in addition to that, I also move the axle forward about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. I've yet to measure it while it's sitting on the ground to figure out exactly how far. So, as you can see, this drive shaft maxes out and it's still about 2.5 inches from the yoke with the suspension at full droop. So I've got to take some measurements with this sitting on the ground, take him fully dropped, fully compressed if I can get that, and go down and have it lengthened to match the new suspension. The axle moves differently with a shackle reversal, so as the axle moves up, it also moves back, so there's got to be at least some rearward movement in the shaft, but not near as much as with a standard leaf spring suspension. However, as it drops down, it also swings forward, so it will move forward a whole lot under the suspension cycle. So that's kind of what detail number one is. Detail number two is this shackle right here. It is too short. When I was setting up the suspension, I did make an error with the location of the through bushing in the frame. It's not hugely off. It's only about 1/2 inch off from where I'd like it to be, so I can compensate with a 1/2 inch or maybe 1 inch longer shackle. And the main point to that is to keep the spring here from contacting the frame here. The spring itself is almost flat sitting at ride height, so the shackle won't have to travel rearward very much at all. Mostly it will travel forward when the suspensions drop down like this, and this is full drop with no pressure going up on the other side, which will also change the drop. However, it's still just a little bit too short. So the front end is sitting low as well, so a longer shackle is not going to be a bad thing here. It's going to raise the front end. It's going to fix my issue with the spring rubbing the frame right here. It doesn't rub it at ride height, it rubs it under compression only, but it still does hit, so I've got to correct that. These are the brand new 3/8 thick shackles that are 2 inches longer hole to hole for the YJ. The current shackles are too short because I messed up putting the bushings in the frame. So making the best that I can, a longer shackle, keep the spring out of the frame. The angled shackle ought to make it ride real nice, but it might make it also too squishy. So we will just have to find out and see what all I have to fix. Anyhow, these are them 3/8 thick boomerang style shackles, 6.5 inches eye to eye. Should make for an interesting change in the ride. Currently it rides like butt because the spring is sitting on the frame. So here we are out here in a nice sunny day and driving the YJ around a little bit. You can hear that mostly healthy Chevy V8 running under the hood. I like some V8. Currently the exhaust is still cut off from doing the welding on the suspension bushings and whatnot. Because of that, it's pretty stinking loud. So this is his first drive out on the pavement. Pavement and caliche, I guess. It's going pretty well so far. It's back running pretty good. It's a little bouncy. The springs have settled in where the tail of the tail bushing on the spring is, the rear one is touching the frame. So I have not put the new shackles on yet. That's my next project to accomplish. Get that done, get that figured out, and then onto the drive shaft. A few little details, and this bad boy will be ready to go. Having a good old time out here. I'm driving this thing around so much is because it's got an MP2 controller for the Ramjet 350, and if it's not hooked to power for more than about 2 weeks, it loses its tune, and it will self-learn back to a good spot and where it's happy, but it doesn't like to do it. It takes almost half an hour of driving to get it right. But when I started it today, it sounded like a tractor. It was popping and banging so bad, and now it